the younger man fades out towards the end?
Look, I don't know the way they train. I'm sure he ran really good because it's a huge fight. But I could give you my opinion as a trainer and what me as a trainer, what I think could have been the reason why he tires out in the late round. And I'm not saying that's what happened to Canelo, but in my opinion, if I have a fighter that is going to fight a 12-round fight against a solid, tough opponent, he needs to train tough, which I'm sure he did. But the main thing, I think he needs to spar tough too. I think you need to have him spar with sparring partners that are trying to beat the heck out of you, to get you in shape and to get you alert and in condition to be able to do that in the fight. You know, every time one of my fighters is getting ready, I prepare them with sparring partners that are trying to kick their ass. I don't tell my sparring partners, work easy, don't go to the body. And I'm not saying that's the case with Canelo, but as a trainer, I'm thinking that might be a case with Canelo. He's a big name. He's a superstar. He's his trainers, his manager team. He's their only guy that they have. So,
the cash cow.
So they want him to be happy. They want to treat him nice. They don't want him, because I've seen it before. I've seen it with, I used to train with Oscar De La Hoya when we were growing up. We trained together. We did too many training camps together, and I remember sparring partners were told to take it easy. Don't do this. Don't do that. On Oscar, because Oscar's the golden boy. Whoever was training him at that time, didn't want to get Oscar hurt or didn't want to get Oscar to look bad. I remember I was there. So you know what I mean. So I'm not saying that's the case with Canelo, but my opinion is that it's possible. That's possible. They need to spar hard. He needs to spar hard because in order to be able to get in there against to be able to beat a Triple G, you got to go through that in training. All my fighters go through that. Mikey against Broner, Mikey was sparring 154 pounders, 160 pounders. That would. You guys could find out who those guys were, and I never told the guys take it easy or don't do this. I'm trying to get those guys to beat the heck out of Mikey. With Abner, same thing. All the kids that I have sparring Abner, I tell them, you go out there and kick his ass, because that's what I need. That's what I need for my guys to be in shape.
Robert, if you could pick some guys from your camp to prepare Canelo for the rematch, who in your camp would you prepare?
To prepare Canelo against Triple G? Oh man, at 160, I probably don't. You know what? Actually, Misael would probably be a good one, because Misael is a fighter that moves around and boxes. So he's a possibility, but I think I don't have them anymore. But they'd probably be better off getting some of those guys that I had in Oxnard. There's some tough, strong guys that I had in Oxnard that now Marcos Contreras, my assistant, who now trains all those guys, he has 3 or 4 guys that would give Triple G or even Canelo great sparring, because those guys are strong, they're solid, they're fast, and they can fight. My guys in my gym are all either 140 pounders to flyweights, 105. I have 105 pounders. I don't have anybody that big except for Misael. And Misael will probably give them good rounds, but not the rounds that Triple G needs. A fighter like Triple G also needs the tough 10, 12 rounds of sparring, and Misael can't give them to him right now. He'll probably be able to give maybe 4 or 5, that's it.
And going on this weekend's fight on Linares fighting Campbell, what did you think of Linares and him calling out Mikey?
I think Linares looked great, especially the first 2 rounds. When I was watching the fight, Linares is the type of fighter that anybody in boxing enjoys watching. His skills, he's got the perfect timing. He's got the distance. He's a complete fighter. His skills are unbelievable. Towards the middle of the rounds, Nate Campbell started coming in and had some good rounds. What turned it into a great fight? Olympic gold medalist. You can't take nothing away from him. But Linares showed great skills, and
him calling out Mikey. How do you feel about that fight?
Look, it's a fight that I would love. Mikey wants. We already sat down with Golden Boy Promotion, and we're already talking about that fight. We're already talking about the fight. It won't be in December. Mikey is going to fight in December, so the fight won't be in December, but it could happen as early as March. So we're looking forward to it. It should. That's a fight that should happen because it's a great challenge for Mikey, and I know Linares already accomplished so much that he would love to get a win over Mikey, and the fight here in Southern California would be unbelievable.
I'd say that would be one of the next super fights.
It would be huge here in Southern California.
What do you think Linares does well as you look forward to a possible fight with Mikey? What do you think he does well and not poorly?
Look, I think Linares does everything well. Everything well. There's been his question about his chin, question about his skin, but even a fighter that bleeds still fight. He still has the skills. Even if he gets dropped, he gets up and he still has skills. So Linares is a type of fighter that, as long as the fight goes, if he's able to get up and continue fighting, if he gets cut and is able to continue fighting, he's always going to be a very dangerous fighter because his skills, his power, his speed, his reflex, they're all great. They're all great. So he's a complete fighter. So it's not an easy fight for nobody, not only Mikey.
Robert, when you mentioned that you rewatched the Canelo Triple G fight, you didn't really want to say who won, but you saw a winner. Like, how many rounds did you see that?
I think it was a 7-5.
Okay, so it was close.
It was a close fight. It was a close fight. So the draw was okay for me. Yes, not like that one judge had it. It's totally wrong. But the vote was close enough for a draw. And obviously for a rematch that I'm pretty sure we're going to see next year.
Do you feel that was kind of Gennadi's best shot at Canelo, being that he is the one that's getting a little older now? And I believe I heard you say earlier that you feel like Canelo will win a rematch easier. So do you feel like that was kind of Gennadi's best shot, was that first fight around?
I think so. I think that was his best shot because at 35, I'm not sure if he's 35 or 36.
I think he's 36, yeah.
36, okay. So at that age, even though there's so many fighters that could fight at that age, it's still an age where a lot of fighters are already thinking of retirement. He could maybe put a little more pressure, maybe cut the ring a little bit more than what he did, but there's not much he could change. I think the person that could really improve and do much better is Canelo. And like I said earlier, Canelo went in there knowing that he's in there against the monster, he's in there against the guy that knocks everybody out cold. So there's always that question, how well can I take his punch? How much can I get hit? So he fought a little too defensive, where if he would have tried a little bit more, maybe he would have won the fight clearly, and not a draw. So I think in a rematch, Canelo takes the fight.
What does Triple G need to do to try to win the rematch?
Maybe be a little bit more aggressive when cutting the ring, and throwing a little more punches. He had his moments when Canelo stayed in the ropes, but he still didn't go like he likes to call Mexican style. Well, if you remember Chavez Sr., he would put his head in his opponent's chest and work the body, work those uppercuts. He still had that distance and still gave Canelo that distance enough to just pivot and move away to his left and make that right miss all night. So I think he needs to be a little more aggressive, cut the ring a little more to his right, and throw more punches.
Is Triple G? Is it him fighting the elite now, Robert, or is it just him getting old? Or do you think him fighting these elite fighters, we're seeing a different Triple G? We're not seeing that dominant Triple G that we're always used to seeing.
Triple G, his power is always has been there, and he has the power. But I think all these past years that he was knocking everybody out, I think it was more about he just didn't have that one opponent that would really test him. A lot of times it was guys from Europe that they would bring in, and they're already coming in thinking, we're gonna get knocked out. So I think that has a lot to do with it. He's still a great fighter. He still has great power. He still accomplished more than a lot of fighters ever accomplished. But it was just he wasn't at that right time where he was able to face the best middleweights out there. Now the time that has come might be a little bit too late. Jacobs and now Canelo, you know, him already being 36, it might be if he would catch them at 30, 31, 32, he probably would have knocked all of them out.
Who's the best fighter right now?
Hold on. So we're gonna do a quick photo over here, and then we're gonna get back to it.
Everybody wants to talk to you. Nobody talks.
No, but we're gonna start with a quick photo of the team.
Alright guys, everyone subscribe to the channel. Always bringing you guys live stuff. I don't believe Rios is back with him. He talked about that, but I know he's not with my boy Ricky at 10 years.
Alright, we're gonna do a quick photo. So, in case you guys didn't know, this is Luis Garcia, who is Abner's strength and conditioning coach, Team Morris. Sergeant De La Torre, who runs this program at the Sheriff's Boxing Gym. He'll be here and available to talk about the program that we support. As you know, Abner's a big supporter of this program, has been for many years. Luis is on the undercard for the fight. It hasn't been announced yet, but he is one of our top prospects, unbeaten. Three knockouts, hey, trained by Robert, and the man, the myth, the legend, Robert Garcia, whose ring is in there. So we're gonna do a quick photo op. So this way we have that. But guys, scooch, hold it. There you go.
One, two. One more. One, two.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Attack. All right. Now let the interviews begin. Right there? Right.
You know what I walked right.
Abner, how do you feel for this fight Saturday the 14th at StubHub Center?
I feel great. I feel I'm excited to once again show myself, Coach Garcia, and my whole team.
We are at a little bit more than 2 weeks from the fight. How has your training changed right now from, say, 2 months before the fight?
You know, believe it or not, it increased a little bit more. The sparring sessions, the rounds, longer. And yes, I mean, today's Wednesday. We did like 12 rounds sparring sessions. Last week, Friday, 11 rounds. So it increased, you know, as far as the work, and we dropped it last week. We were fighting where the body was rest, and we were ready to fight.
How are you supporting the young boxing community today in Los Angeles here at the boxing gym?
Yes, you know, thank God I'm fortunate enough to help out
You dropped something more? Oh, maybe it was just the swing of that thing. I think it was just the swing of it. Hey!
Mom said that's mine.
What do you tell to a mom or dad who doesn't come from a boxing family, who for the first time a child of 8, 19 years old comes home asking about wanting to go to a boxing gym, and the mother or the father maybe is a little bit scared?
Yeah, you know what? Most of the parents are scared of boxing because the first thing they think is blood. Just outside formation. Huh? You're making sure you're not lying. Oh, okay. but you know, at the end of the day, it's important. It's strict. Strict. You gotta keep that discipline. You gotta keep time. You gotta really discipline. myself have 13 brothers that started boxing because of it. You know, the double ball.
Like re-up on the shit.
It is a sport, but it's more and more than a sport. It's something that helps you your life.
Last question, what type of boxing war can your fans expect October 14th at StubHub and on Fox Television as well? Thank you so much.
¿Cómo ha sido tu preparación?
And social media. Invitar a
How you guys doing? My name is How you guys doing? My name is Abner Mares. Follow me at Abner Mares, Instagram at Abner Mares, Twitter. Make sure you watch me fight on October 14th at the StubHub Center in Garcia, California.
¿Y en español?
¿Qué tal, amigos? Mi nombre es Abner Mares. Peleo este 14 de octubre en el StubHub Center en Garcia, California. No se lo pierdan. Y también síganme a través de las redes sociales, @Abner Mares, Instagram, @Abner Mares en clásica.
Ok, y los televidentes van a poder ganar esta gorra. So we just need some video de tu feedback. Caballero Abner Mares va a regalar esta gorra a los escuchas de Radio Sol de DJ Mr. Ya hizo la mezcla de Training Mix para Mr. Abner Mares. Tenemos la mitad. Muchísimas gracias, caballero. Esto se va a ver muy bien en mi cabeza. Lo siento, para nuestros ganadores. Permiso.
Abner, ¿cómo ha sido tu preparación?
Muy bien, estricta, fuerte. Obviamente empezó primero pensando que iba a ser ante Leo Santa Cruz, pero por ciertas cosas no se dio esa pelea, así que eso te deja saber de que la intensidad y lo bien que vamos.
Y cuéntanos un poco de lo que viste en México, todo lo que ha pasado y lo que está pasando actualmente.
Es muy difícil, la verdad que los primeros días cuando estaba pasando todo, me pegó directamente al corazón, obviamente toda mi familia, el lado de mi esposa vive allá, su mamá, su hermano, su papá, sus abuelos. Bueno, pues y eran días de tensión para mí porque mi esposa se fue al siguiente día de que pasó y con los nervios de que no pasara nada, pero afortunadamente pudimos ayudar. Empezamos a traer cosas para llevar allá. De hecho, hoy se sale la primera camioneta rumbo a Oaxaca, porque mucha gente está enfocada en la ciudad. La ciudad ya tiene bastante, bendito Dios, es afortunada, la están ayudando mucho, pero lugares como Puebla, Oaxaca, los lugares que no les han dado la atención, vaya, por la media, no han tenido eso. Pero bendito Dios, nosotros estamos ayudando.
Tienes muchos fans allá en México y seguidores. ¿Les puedes mandar un mensaje de consolación y de aliento?
Sí, claro. Un saludo a todos mis fans de México que están pasando por este gran y doloroso momento. Lo único que les puedo decir es que tengan fe en Dios, que todo va a salir adelante y todo va a estar bien.
¿Por qué escogiste este gimnasio?
Este gimnasio porque tengo ya 3-4 años ayudando a este gimnasio. Es una comunidad se puede decir, de bajos recursos, South Central LA. Es un lugar donde vienen muchachos con el hambre de ser campeones mundiales, con el hambre del deseo de ser alguien en la vida. Y ahorita no se ve porque están en la escuela, pero son tantos los niños que vienen a este gimnasio que me conmueven mucho a mí, porque obviamente yo vengo de esto también, vengo de gimnasios como este, donde uno quiere la oportunidad y está buscando a alguien que los pueda motivar, y yo quiero ser esa persona que los motive a que no solo pueden ser grandes en el deporte, sino que también en sus vidas. Este programa me gusta también porque atrás tienen computadoras, tienen un espacio donde los alumnos llegan, hacen su tarea, su trabajo primero y luego entrenan.
¿Ya listo para la pelea?
Listo para la pelea, hermano. El octubre 14, estamos a 2 semanas, me siento muy bien. La verdad me siento muy motivado, muy emocionado de poder pelear nuevamente lo que se puede decir en segunda clase.
Un mensaje para los jóvenes del área.
Un mensaje para toda la juventud, que tengan fe, perseverancia en todo lo que hagan, y que siempre sus deseos y sus sueños se van a hacer realidad si son constantes en el trabajo.
Gracias.
Do we expect anything new from you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm the type of fighter that I don't want to be a boring fighter. I don't want to be that fighter that we're expecting already this from Abner. And I think you and anyone can say, hey, you know what, every fight is different. Show something different.
thank God I've been blessed to have a good coach, Robert Garcia, alongside of me, who's been teaching me so much. And now, 2 weeks from the fight against a tough, hungry fighter, as Gutierrez is, 26 years old, he's getting the opportunity of his lifetime to fight for a world title. He's only got 1 defeat, 36 wins, 25 knockouts. He's a hungry veteran, young veteran that is here to take what I've been working for so long, and that I don't plan to let it go back.
Have you seen many of his fights?
I have, obviously. Once I got word of who I'm fighting, I did my homework. I studied him. I saw him, and he's a strong kid. He's a strong, hungry kid who is always there in front of you, pressures you, and a fighter that thinks that he can win it all based on strength and youth. But sometimes, you gotta be smarter than that.
Can you just talk about your involvement with this program and what it means to you to be involved?
It means so much to me to be involved. I did the backpack giveaway this past month, I think it was, before they went to school. I've been doing it for a couple of years now. Can't remember. I think they got a hold of me through social media about 3 years ago, but they needed help. And it started small. I think they only had 1 ring, and now they have 2 rings. And I'm blessed to just walk in here. Like I said, there's not many kids right now. Obviously, they're in school right now, but it's over 100 kids that come here after school, work their butt off because they have that dream to become a world champion, to become someone in life. And like I said, it's combined with studying and working, on boxing. You got the study room back there. You got to do your homework, finish your homework. And these are kids with so many problems. They come in here with, we don't know, problems at home with their parents, financially problems. This is a tough neighborhood. I've known and I've heard many of the kids that we've lost to gang violence also, and it's heartbreaking. So we try to keep them away from all that and busy here.
What is it? You grew up in a rough neighborhood. I know all about Hawaiian Gardens, and I know you got in just a little bit of trouble as a young guy growing up. What is your message to these kids? Because obviously, I'm a former gang member, as you know, and I know the area, and it is a rough place to grow up.
It is a rough place to grow up. And my message is basically just be myself, showing the people that you could do something for your life, something better. There's always something better out there. It's just wanting it and changing your life and letting that. Quick story. 2 weeks ago, I was selling my hats at my wife's store. Posted it on Instagram. A couple of friends showed up. Well, one of them that struck me was a friend that I hadn't seen for years from high school. That was always tweaked out, bad in drugs. That I was always seeing him in the streets. He came up to me, "Hey, Abner, remember me?" I'm like, I couldn't remember him. He looked so different. Introduced me to his son. His son was a fan. I had him to tell him all about, how we grew up. And told the kid was so thrilled. He was your #1 fan, champ. Thank you so much. You made his day. You made my day. Let me tell you, I'm a changed man. I live in Sperry now. I don't make that much money, but I'm happy with my family. I changed my way. So I'm happy to see that. And he did it on his own. I'm not saying he did it because of me, but his kid is looking up to me now. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta use the platform to just be an example, and not just someone that fights, makes money, and goes to waste money like crazy. It's super smart.
What is the worst bit of trouble you were in when you were growing up on Hawaiian Gardens?
Carjacking. The last one was the one that really hit me. It wasn't even that bad, but it was just the way they did it. I was in a rumble, and I got harassed by the cop. I got beat up by the cop. He was gonna take me to jail, but he decided to take me home. He walked me in my house, handcuffed. I was crying. My mom was there. She was crying, devastated, and to see my mom's tears and to see her, broken down like that, it just really opened up my eyes. But I'm not gonna say that I changed drastically right after that, but it did open up my eyes.
How old were you at the time?
I must have been like 13, 14.
Did you ever get jumped into Hawaiian Gardens?
That is the reason why I left at the age of 15. I was initiated to get jumped into the hood. Word got around. My parents heard, and they sent me to Mexico. So that is the reason why I got sent to Mexico.
So what was the defining moment in your life since you were in the difficult?
My parents grabbed me, put me in the bus, off to Mexico you go at the age of 15, living on my own. And I couldn't understand why they did it, but throughout years, I got to understand why they did it. Obviously, seeing 90% of my friends in jail or dead, wow, that's why.
When did you come back? How old were you when you came back?
I didn't come back till the age of 20.
How frustrating is it not having Leo Santa Cruz as your opponent for this fight? It feels like that should have been next. You guys both haven't fought in a while.
Not frustrated whatsoever. It's over it. I'm concentrating on one fight, and that's it. We'll be talking about Leo fight after this fight, God willing. But my priority right now and my goal is to beat Gutierrez in a spectacular way, show what I've been learning with Coach Robert, and move on.
Is the layoff from December, did you wish you got in the ring sooner? Is that something that you
I mean,
want?
yes, I wish I could have gotten in the gym sooner, in the ring sooner to fight. But I feel good. I stayed in the gym. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, you can see I'm always in the gym. I'm constantly training with Robert. And again, it got to where I'm learning more little by little with Coach Robert, getting to know each other. This is our second year together. So, God knows why. Timings are perfect. And now I'm fighting Andres Gutierrez. And 2 weeks after that, God willing, everything goes well. I want to Leo Santa Cruz. If it's not Leo, I'm not even worried about fighting Leo anymore. I want to fight Frampton. I want to fight Oscar Valdez. I want to fight world champions out there. I'm not gonna concentrate on one fighter now.
What did you make of Oscar's performance?
It was good. He showed it was a tough fight. Young kid who is a world champion, but he's still green. Obviously, I believe his first, if not second, title defense. And he showed hard. He showed a heart that we know that he's always had, but he made the adjustments through the last rounds, and I'm happy for him. He's a good fighter.
He went down. That surprised him. How did he look when he was down? Did he respond how he should have as professional?
He was down. It did not surprise me because he's vulnerable for that. He opens up too much. He gets caught with clean punches. It wasn't a devastating knockdown. It was a flash knockdown. He got up and responded good. Obviously not the way I would have done it. He stuck toe-to-toe with the guy. Should have held, but luckily I'm sorry, it was the last 10 seconds of the round, so he was fortunate enough that it was the 10 seconds before the round.
Abner, when you have these periods of uncertainty between fights, trying to find out who the next opponent is, how do you keep yourself tuned in, not getting frustrated, not giving up, staying tuned in to what your next assignment may be?
Yeah, you know what? It's all mental. I can't get frustrated. I can't get angry. I can't concentrate. Right now when he asked me, were you frustrated or are you still angry? I'm over it, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not fighting him, period, you know what I'm saying? So I got to get through this guy first in order to even thinking about that fight now. So I'm over it. Once I even heard, I heard like a week before you guys even knew that I wasn't fighting Leo, I was like, all right, it's not time.
A fighter's preparation is so intense, not just physically, but mentally. So how do you decompress mentally as you kind of clear your mind space from one assignment to what actually is, in this case, your opponent, Gutierrez?
But, I mean, people need to understand that, yes, I'm not fighting Leo Santa Cruz, the named fighter, the world champion, but I am fighting the Gutierrez, who's got two hands, who trained hard, who's got a devastating record, which is 36, 1 defeat, 25 knockouts, 26 years old again, hungry, and he's got the opportunity. So if anything, I probably have a tougher fight than the Leo Santa Cruz. So that's why I'm focused on this fight. I got to get through him first, and like I'm telling you, I'm not even worried about the Leo Santa Cruz fight anymore, and it is hard, like you said, it's hard, but he just gotta let go.
Tougher fight in the sense of your opponent being tougher than Leo's or tougher than Leo himself?
You never know. You never know. It could be tougher than Leo because of his style. It could be tougher than Leo because he wants it more. You know what I'm saying? This is a young kid that's got the opportunity.
Abner, you're back at the Stub Hub. Things didn't go so well for you last time you were there. Is there that creeping your mind at all?
No, and thank you for bringing that up. Not too many people are talking about it, which is cool too. You know what I'm saying? But my last and only fight that I did there was against Johnny Gonzalez, which I got knocked out in the first round. But if anything, I'm excited because I owe 11 rounds. You know what I'm saying? I owe you guys 11 rounds, and I'm happy to be fighting there and showcase my talent there because that place is
it's magical. Yeah.
It's magical. It's gonna go down in history as what they call a war zone because there's so many wars in there. You know, not saying that my fight might be a war, but definitely gonna give you guys the win and a good fight.
Last time I saw you,
we're good friends, man. We're still staying in touch. I believe he's fighting in November. He was supposed to let me know I'm going to be attending his fight. And he's a great fighter, man. Great champion, human being. And it was great helping, being able. I was humbled to be able to help a legend, as Jose Aldo. And his, and he's so nice. He's so humble that he would listen, you know, he didn't have to. He would sit there and just listen to everything I would tell him, and he'll do it in the ring. And you know, that's how champions are made. You know, they progress, you know, by listening, not thinking that they know everything already. And so I I don't know, man. That's an intriguing sport. You know, it is a combat sport. It's different. I would just have to learn at my grappling and all that. But besides that, boxing, I got it.
Abner, what were those sparring sessions like with Aldo in the gym?
They were good. They were just. This is why he liked me so much, and I'm gonna be truly honest, because I didn't go in there wanting to perform, you know, wanting to go tear his head off. Most fighters would have. Oh, this will say, I'm going to show off. No. I went in there, I told him, go, throw certain punches, I'm going to dodge, I'm going to come back with this. School. School. You know, we went in there, we were schooling each other. I was telling him what I was going to do, same thing, and we learned. We did about 6 rounds, 8 rounds, we finished. He gave me a hug. Abner, thank you so much, because that's what it is. You know, sparring, some people think that you got to go in there and kill yourself. No, man, it's about learning. Sometimes I get my ass kicked, I'm sorry, sparring sessions. I get, oh, like, man, what did I do wrong? And then you go next day, oh, thank God you're sparring the same guy, and you kind of know him, so you got to adjust things and do things right.
We saw Aldo kick some people with the body pad on. Did he ever kick you or anything like that?
No, he sparred one of my good friends, my fighter, Misael Rodriguez. They started boxing and they got to a point where they were clinching, and I don't know, I think he just lost it, desperate, and he picked him up and dropped him. And I'm talking about Misael. He's a middleweight.
Middleweight, yeah.
Yeah,
you're middleweight, right? Yeah.
I'm going to grab him for a second.
Thank you, Abner. Thank you.
Are you still on?
Yeah.
It seems like after a fight, his kind of I need to go. I think it was before it seems like I remember
Oh, nice.
When it comes to training sparring, I learned they can't do the same work that I do. Me, like, I'm not doing my job. So I'd rather stay away. Because I would have to maybe be guided by the finance when he tells me, I'm too big, so I can't run that much. I'm too big, so I can't slow them anymore. So for me, it's like I'm not doing my job. I really keep it with all my group that I have, something like that. I work training with general market. That's my main, that's what my team is at.
Robert, I just have a couple of questions. What does it say about having involved in a program like this? It's pretty rough.
Just like I've been telling everybody, I grew up in a program similar to this in Oxnard. Since I was 5 years old, I already belonged to a boxing gym similar to this. When I opened up my own gym, I had my program similar to this, where kids come in. We had tutoring for homework. And keeping the kids off the streets, I love to see that, they have up to 200 kids here every day in the afternoon, and that's awesome. I'd rather come here to a place like this than to a private gym where you have to pay $200 to be a member of the gym. Even though the gym is nice and state of the art, I'd rather be here, with where you know the program is for the kids in the neighborhood, and they're not out in the streets getting involved with gangs, drugs, and violence.
You're talking about La Colonia.
La Colonia, that's where we grew up, yes.
So just switching gears to Gutierrez, what is he bringing to to this fight for against Abner?
Gutierrez is going to be one of our top opponents because Gutierrez is getting his title opportunity. He's got great skills. I've been watching his fights and he's got great skills. He's got very good power too. So he's coming with everything. He's got nothing to lose, everything to gain. He becomes the world champion if he beats Abner. So I keep telling Abner, that's the most dangerous guy you could face because he has nothing to lose and he comes with everything. And he knows he's got the skills and the power to win the fight. So we have to be very well prepared. We have to train like we did for the Cuellar fight, like we will for the Leo Sanders. We got to train as good or even better because this kid is the real deal and he's coming to take the title away. So we've been doing exactly that. Abner's been sparring really good. He's been giving me up to 12 rounds of sparring already with 3 different sparring partners. So we're going to be in great shape.
Robert, I'm moving 4 pounds north of the 126 division at 130. Garcia versus Cameron Rigondeaux are set to meet December 9th in Madison Square Garden. What's your assessment of that?
Look, skills-wise, it's going to be a hell of a fight. Rigondeaux's got great skills. Lomachenko obviously is one of the best fighters pound for pound in the world. I think Rigondeaux's very, very smart. But I think we're going to see a size difference. Lomachenko is already champion at 130, comfortable 130. Rigondeaux's moving up from 122. I think he's probably too small for Lomachenko. Even though it's a fight that I'm looking forward to because of the skills. You know, I appreciate skills like that and want to see, and maybe would love to see a surprise. But I still think Lomachenko is maybe too big and fast. Lomachenko throws a lot more punches than Rigondeaux.
So with Teddy Atlas after his fight with Terrence Crawford, in front of Andre Ward and Terrence Crawford himself, he told them that he still had Lomachenko as pound for pound #1. What do you want to see from Lomachenko to assert those beliefs and perceptions that some people don't say he's not?
What Lomachenko does in the ring and what the skills that he has, he is one of the best fighters in the world. And I had him as pound for pound, my favorite fighter also, but not anymore. You know why? Because of the opponents that he's been fighting. You know, if he's considered to be the best fighter at 130, and he's said it, it's not me saying it. He said that he won't fight nobody unless it's a world title fight or the best opponent after that in his weight division. Instead, he's fighting a smaller guy who just got beat. Well, that's in his last fight. He fought a smaller guy that just got beat at featherweight, moving up in weight. That's not showing what he said before. He says he's not fighting nobody but world champions or the best next challenger out there, and he didn't do that in that fight. Or, you know, if there's no challenges, then he should have moved up to 135 to get real challenges. Instead, he fought a featherweight that had just lost. That's that's the reason he's not my favorite fighter anymore.
You know what?
Because if I would have seen him move up that same night, what's his name fought there, the 135 pounder, Beltran fight. If I would have seen him say, you know what, there's no champion at 130 that wants to fight me. There's no challenge out there for me at 130. Well, Beltran's fighting that same night, so let's fight Beltran. I think he would have beat Beltran. He would have beat Beltran, but he didn't do it. I think he would have beat Beltran that night, but he didn't do it.
Does he need more vocal, Robert?
What was that?
Does he need to be more vocal and ask for these fights? Vocal. Does he need to ask for these fights? Because maybe his promoter not giving him these fights and not providing, because he was frustrated at one time.
It's obviously not his fault. It's obviously his promoter, because I know his manager, Climas. He'll fight. He doesn't want those easy fights either. He doesn't want them for his fucking 4-round fighters. He wants the best fighters out there for his 4-round fighters. 6-round fighters. He wants to fight the best. I know Climas, and he's one that takes challenges and takes those chances. But it's, you know, when they have a budget and the fighter needs to get paid so much, they have to find opponents that will fight for cheap. And that's what's going on with them. That's what's going on with Lomachenko. And it's not Lomachenko's fault.
Would you still want Mikey to fight him? I know he said that was one of the fights that he wanted. I know Mikey has been able to fight maybe Lomachenko all the way up to Cotto. Where does he fall in there?
Mikey, I would still like Mikey to fight Lomachenko. Definitely. If Lomachenko was to say I want to fight at 135 next, then that would be the fight I want for Mikey. Because I want Mikey to really test himself against Lomachenko and to show what a lot of people a lot of people think Lomachenko might be too fast or too smart for Mikey, and I just don't see it like that. But I would like that. I would like that fight, but I don't see that fight happening. From 126 he went down to 122. From fighting a 126 pounder, he's fighting a 122 pounder, which is a great fight. It's a good challenge, but I think it's too small. He's going to be too small for Lomachenko.
Who is your pound for pound top 5 right now?
Ward, now that he's retired, obviously he's got to be out of the pound for pound. I think Terence Crawford.
Number 1.
I think Terence Crawford. He just became, undisputed champion at a weight division that is very hard to do. He won all 4 titles, even though he already vacated a few, but he did become champion. And even though a lot of people are saying, oh, but the champion wasn't that good. Well, he was champion for a reason. So I think Crawford's probably my
favorite. He said that after Floyd and after Ward, now that he's going to take over, he's done talking about it. But he's also moving up to 147. He's getting warnings from all the rivals up there, potentially he could face 147 from Amir Khan, has been the most outspoken one to Sean Porter. What do you make of his move to 147? What can he do?
I think he'll have a great run, great fights at 147, and I think he's got skills and he's capable of beating probably most, if not all the welterweights out there. I think his skills and what he does in the ring is good enough to beat all the 147s out there. Well, look, I know most of well, not most of them, but a lot of those welterweights fight under PBC, so I don't even know if we'll see those fights, but I would like to see him fight against like a Keith Thurman, what's the one from Dallas? Errol Spence, that one. I would love to see that one too. So I think they're both very, very skillful. They're both tremendous at what they do. That would be the big fight, I think.
When you thought of the idea of a fight between Mikey and Lomachenko, what were you thinking just now when you thought about it?
Honestly, I know a lot of people think the opposite, but I think it's an easy fight for Mikey. But I just would like to make it happen, just to show the world or those people that think Lomachenko is good enough to be Mikey, to show them wrong, to show them what Mikey's about. A lot of Mikey's basic. He's a basic fighter. And if you see him train or spar, you don't really see anything special. But when you're inside the ring, he's Mikey. It's totally different, and it's something you can't adjust to. You can't work with. I think that's why I would like to see it. But now. With Lomachenko fighting Rigondeaux, hopefully after that he moves up to lightweight and maybe we get that opportunity to fight him next year. But I don't know if we'll see that.
And now this is year 2 of Abner. What is the focus now for you and Abner as you enter year 2? Like, what do you focus on in the gym? Like, how does the relationship change after you're into your second year?
Look, it only got better. Our relationship with Abner only got better after the Cuellar fight. We trained for almost a whole year for the Cuellar fight, and the results were unbelievable. He looked sensational. He was even able to drop Cuellar and become a world champion. So our relationship became even stronger because now he knows I was right. Everything I was telling him was right, and everything he did it without a problem. Everything we're doing now is making it even easier, because now everything I'm telling him is he does it so easy because he knows it gave him really good results for our previous fight. We've been training almost all year, for this fight, which we thought it was going to be against Leo Santa Cruz. So we were ready to fight Leo Santa Cruz October 14th. Even though we have a different opponent, we're still training the same, we're still sparring the same, because that's what I want him to continue doing until he fights Leo Santa Cruz, which could be sometime early next year. So I'm not looking past Gutierrez, but the same kind of fight that we're going to see against Gutierrez is the same type of fight I'm doing against Leo, and it only gives me 4, 5, maybe 6 months more to get him even more prepared.
What did you think of one of the youngest champions in that division, Oscar Valdez? His recent performance, you got a chance to see it. What did you make of it?
I thought you were going to tell me Benavides. No. I was going to say he's a bad motherfucker. Oscar Valdez is a hell of a fighter, man. You know, he's a crowd pleaser. He goes for the knockout. You know, sometimes you got to take a punch. He got dropped, but you know, all the best have been dropped. You know, it's about getting up and being able to continue fighting and finish the fight. Yeah, he got dropped. He continued fighting. He fought a great fight. You know, that's his style. A lot of people might criticize, oh, he gets hit, or oh, he just hits hard punches. So did Roberto Duran. So did Marcos Maidana. You know what I mean? So did Puas Olivares. You know, and they were great champions. So he's one of those kids that could be champion for a while. He'll be in bigger fights as his career keeps going. And one day we're probably going to see him as one of the top Mexican fighters of all time.
Robert, are you surprised Andre Ward retired at such a young age?
I was surprised.
What do you think of that? Do you think he comes back, or what do you think it is?
Look, I think he'll come back if there's a big fight that generates him a huge payday. He fought his last two fights against Kovalev, and they were big paydays for him. He still did not become that one fighter that could do his own pay-per-view. He can't do those big numbers on pay-per-view. So he's not gonna go back to HBO for half of what he was making. He's comfortable already. You know, he already went through so many training camps, so many diets and everything. So I'm sure his body's also tired. But if the big fights were still out there for him, then he'd continue fighting a few more fights, maybe a couple more years. But they're not out there. The fights are not out. Just like Mayweather. Mayweather has come back 2 or 3 times because he knows he's going to make at least $100 million, or else he wouldn't do it. So Ward is not in that level of numbers, but if we're talking 5-6 million, I'm just saying, I don't even know. But if that's the number, he'll do it if there's a fight that generates that money. But at light heavyweight, I don't think there's a fight that gives them those paydays right now.
Well, Jim Lampley was talking about that. He was talking about coming back as a heavyweight, and I think he could beat Anthony Joshua or one of those guys. And he's always talked about moving up to heavyweight.
Yeah, he did.
Would that be it?
But he might not. He probably wasn't serious. He probably just said it just to get some publicity. I don't know. Roy Jones did it. So why wouldn't he be able to do it? Roy Jones did it from being a middleweight. But maybe his body. I don't know. Maybe his body's not. Maybe his body's tired. Maybe he's got injuries. Maybe I really don't know. I was surprised that he retired.
Normally we see those guys come back. We saw Floyd come back. Guys that literally still in his prime.
You know who might be a fight that might generate him that money to come back, and that's one of my former guys that I think he'll be champion next year. Alex Wozniak. That guy's a fucking bad. He's a badass. I think he becomes a world champion, and everybody's gonna be talking about him because he's got skills. He's got knockout power. He's gonna knock out fighters cold. And then everybody will say, well, Ward, you got to come back. You got to fight this kid. You got to fight this kid. And he'll come back for a big fight like that. Maybe Wozniak is gonna get Ward to make a comeback.
I mean, if any of those fights aren't good enough to entice him to get back into the ring, like you said, Gennady looks like he's deteriorating. If Gennady was willing to meet him maybe at 168, 169, 170, is that even still interesting and good enough to maybe bring him back out for Gennady?
It'll give him the payday, and I think it's a good win for Ward. So maybe something like that would be good. But I think right now, before we see Golovkin fight anybody else, we're gonna see at least a year because I think we're gonna see the rematch.
Next?
I think so. I think we're gonna see a rematch, and we might see a third fight. So we're talking over a year and a half before Ward could even think about fighting Golovkin. Because I think Triple G. I think Triple G is gonna focus on the rematch with Canelo, and we might see 2 more with Canelo. So we're talking a year and a half from now.
Were you surprised how Canelo was able to fluster Triple G for 4 rounds, Robert? And really, I mean, I feel like Golovkin never really did what he does to the opponent. Were you surprised with Canelo?
I think Canelo fought a great fight, very smart, very defensive. He prepared to fight a great fight. I was impressed. I was surprised. You know, I was picking Canelo, but I also was waiting for that one punch to just, or that jab. You know, I talked to a lot of people in boxing that know Triple G very well, and a lot of people told me, Robert, you don't understand. When Canelo feels that one jab, he's gonna say, fuck, what the fuck did I get into? A lot of people tell me that. You know, when they knew I was picking Canelo, they were saying, oh, you just don't know the power that Triple G has. Well, Canelo fought great. He never really felt that punch. So it was great. It was great to see Canelo do that good.
I know for a long time we talked about Golden Boy keeping him away. Do you think he was always ready, Robert, or was this the right time?
Now, this was the right time.
So if it would have happened a year ago, it would have been.
A year ago, 2 years ago, he wasn't ready, but he is now. And I think in the rematch, I think he's gonna beat Triple G clearly.
Was he ready part of because of what he learned, or because of Golovkin's decline? I think it's obvious
both,
that
a little bit of both. Golovkin's decline, he's already 35, 36. Canelo's 26, 27 maybe. You know, he's learned so much. He's got so much experience now. So I think it's a little bit of both.
So why does boxing become a pick and choose? Fight him at the right time for what makes best for you. Why does boxing turn into that, Robert? Why can't they just meet in their prime like Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev?
Used to.
Why isn't that happening anymore?
Mayweather showed everybody how to do it.
Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing, Robert?
It's good. It's good. Mayweather made $1 billion doing that.
That's good for him, but is that good for boxing?
People, you know, 1.3 million people seen it. They did like $27 million in the gate. So it is good, right? If they wouldn't have done good in pay-per-view, if they wouldn't have done a good gate, then maybe it wasn't good for boxing. But 1.3 million guys, and then like $27 million in the gate, it's good for boxing.
Robert, speaking of that, we know Canelo is a draw, no matter what. But it seems like there's like a big drop after that. Is it going to be in trouble if it's not Canelo? Or are we going to have trouble finding a next guy that can kind of carry the sport like Manny and Floyd did?
Well, it's you know, like I would say, maybe pound for pound, Crawford, but it's hard, you know, for him to get those opponents. You know, Pacquiao got him at the perfect timing. You know, from 130, he was already fighting Morales, Barrera, Marquez. 35, they were all there. 40s, 47, you know, they were all there. So that's why Pacquiao became superstar, big, huge pay-per-view guy. You know, maybe those opponents are not there for Crawford right now. Maybe the opponents are not there for Canelo. Canelo already is a big draw, so whoever Canelo fights is already going to be big. I think maybe not as big as fighting Triple G, but they're big. You know, he fights in Dallas against that guy from Europe. I don't even remember his name, and it was still good. Big numbers on the gate and everything. So Canelo's already a big name, but it's hard to get that younger guy to become like Pacquiao did. You know, it's not going to be easy.
There's Mikey. Was it part of that desperation? Because it looks like the opponents aren't there for him either. Was this somewhat of a desperate move when he tweeted out me and Cotto in December?
Well, not a desperate move, because you know we're not desperate. Mikey could continue fighting the way he's doing right now at 135 against Linari. That's already a big fight. You know, maybe not a pay-per-view fight, but it's a big fight. Then he goes back to the 140, wins the title there, and eventually, you know, it'll be a slow process. But Mikey really meant it. Mikey really meant that he wants to fight Cotto, and some people, the person that told me, which I already told everybody who he was, you know, told me, he feels Mikey's good enough to beat Cotto, and it's a perfect fight, you know, big fight, pay-per-view fight. Cotto's Hall of Famer, so it would be just a huge win for Mikey, and then Mikey becomes a pay-per-view guy after that. You know, just like if Mikey were to fight Pacquiao, something like that, you know.
Rudy told me he wants a cut, by the way. I told him about that. He said he wants a cut after that.
I'll take him to dinner.
Well, so what are the latest with those talks, if anything?
Well, look, it's all up to Cotto. I think Cotto has, a couple other options. They already told me who they are, and it's up to him. You know, Mikey's one of them. So we should know something soon. That's where we're at right now. We should know something soon. The next few days.
The other options that you know, are they as appealing as, say, a Garcia?
I don't know. You know, it depends on how much or how. Is it money or just a win or just a big fight at Madison Square Garden? It depends on Cotto. You know. I think the other names that they mentioned, the other two names that they mentioned that are possible, are good championship boxing, HBO championship boxing fights. They'll sell out the Madison Square Garden because Cotto always does that. So it'll still generate good numbers, good payday for Cotto. I think with Mikey, it could be a good solid pay-per-view. So it just depends on what Cotto wants to do, being his last fight. You know, it's a good move for Cotto, you know, if he was to beat Mikey, beating Mikey, a guy coming from lightweight, or losing to a guy, you know, so, you know, the decision is not easy for Cotto either. Can he maybe generate more money fighting Mikey on pay-per-view? I believe so. But he'll still do good fighting any of the other guys in Madison Square Garden and doing a great gate and HBO Championship Boxing. You know, he'll still generate very good numbers.
Robert, just left field with this one. Hugh Hefner passed away yesterday.
Did he? Oh, I didn't even know that. Did he?
Hugh Hefner passed away yesterday.
I remember being at his place, at a boxing show. Yeah. He did boxing once in a while. I remember that, and I was there at one of them. I was at Badass House. Badass House.
Robert Suarez,
I didn't know that.
Brandon Reel's back in Oxnard, back with Donald. Any chance that you can be part of that team again, Robert?
I am part of that team.
Oh, so tell me about that. I haven't heard.
Any chance?
Talk to me about that. So
look, Brandon. I'm having breakfast with my wife in Riverside, and I started getting text messages from Brandon. What's up, doggy? What are you doing? I said, everything's good, bro. You know, we always do that. Yeah. But then it started getting a little more, you know, more like deep. You know, damn, bro, I wish you were still here in Oxnard. So then I tell my wife, something's going on. So then I fucking called and said, what's going on, fucking Brandon? He's like, hey, bro, I don't think I'm gonna be going to Ricky anymore. I said, all right, so what the fuck, what are you trying to do? What are you gonna do? Well, I got these options and this and that. I said, nah, fuck. I said, after breakfast, I told my wife, I'm driving to Oxnard. So I went to Oxnard, I met with Brandon, and I already had a couple of guys in my mind.
Oh yeah, against Doomsday.
But Donald was my best option, bro. I love Donald, and he learned a lot from me. Brandon loves Donald. Donald loves Brandon. So who better than Donald? So I went. I made that connection. We planned everything out, and Brandon's like, yeah, but I still don't have a gym to train. You know, I said, okay, don't worry about that. Jordy is already building the RGBA in Oxnard. So he's already training at the gym in Oxnard, RGBA in Oxnard. He's already training there.
And so is Donald the head trainer? Or
right, yes.
Are you going to be in the...
Donald's the head trainer, look. Donald's the one doing the work right now. After Abner's fight, Abner won't fight for the rest of the year. It looks like Brandon's going to fight late November or early December, which is still going to give me a good month and a half to drive back and forth. I'm gonna do the drive. Maybe not every day, but at least twice a week. I'm gonna be driving to Oxnard because Brandon's my brother, man. Brandon is like my little brother. You know, he sees me like an older brother, father figure. You know, so I love that we're doing it together again.
Did you feel it was eventually going to happen? You guys were going to come back together?
No, I never did, and I always thought it was never going to happen. I always felt like it wouldn't happen. I don't know why. I just didn't see it. But when he started texting me, I knew something was going on. Like I called him, and then when he told me the ideas that he had, the gyms that he wanted to go, I said, fuck you, Brandon, let me drive to Oxnard. So I drove to Oxnard.
It's a great story.
And I think it's a perfect move for Brandon. I get calls every day from Donald and from Brandon, and Donald's telling me how hard Brandon's training, how motivated he is. Brandon calls me every day, bro, you don't know how happy I am. I love you guys. That says it all. And he already has that cook that he had for his last fight, which did a great job, and Brandon followed instructions. She's with him 24/7. She doesn't leave Brandon 1 minute by himself. So Brandon's eating, drinking, only what she feeds him and what she gives him. So that's why he was able to make weight so comfortable and was able to fight so strong in his last fight. So he's doing that again. He has her with him again. So by late November, early December, he's gonna make weight with no problem. And the names that they're giving us are huge fights. It's gonna be a big fight for Brandon, so you'll be ready for it.
Is the Victor Ortiz fight still something you guys will want to visit, or
they haven't mentioned that fight? They haven't mentioned that fight. They mentioned that fight to me, but not Brandon against Josito. So it's more possible to see Josito fighting Victor than Brandon fighting Victor next.
And Victor actually told us that last time at the press conference that he wants Josecito. Has Josecito got word of that, and what did he say?
He knows. He's training. He's been training. He's just waiting for Al Hammond, PBC people to call him and say the fight's done. That's all he's waiting for. He's in the gym sparring, 3 times a week. He's ready for when it happens. So it won't be they get him quick notice or anything. He's already in the gym. He's been training for a while.
Is it going to be a little good that you're not going in there and the differences between you and Victor have been put aside? The differences between you and Victor have been put aside, and it'll just be a fight. It won't be anything personal at all.
No, it is personal, bro. Victor doesn't want to lose to me either.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose to Victor, even though, like you just said, forget what happened. That was 10 years ago, and we move on. But it is going to be a great challenge. I don't want to lose to Victor. You know what I mean? It's going to be a hell of a fight. Hell of a fight.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
Good to see you, man.
They got strawberry. Strawberry?
Excuse me, bud. Just grab this back. Thank you. Thank you.
Mikey now. I got a text him, by the way.
Alright guys, well that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Oh, hold on. Check out saw the taco truck we got going on for the media. Appreciate that, Hannah.